The inflation dragon stirs on health, motor vehicles and insurance. In the March quarter, the CPI lifted 1%, which was stronger than both the markets and Westpac's forecast for a 0.8% increase. This saw the annual pace continue to ease back to 3.6% from 4.1% in December, 5.4% in September, and the recent peak of 7.8% back in December 2022. Given that inflation continues to moderate, why do we push back our expectations for the first rate cut from the RBA from September to November? You may remember back to the December quarter CPI, it came in lower than expected and built some expectations that the RBA's target for 3.3% by June 2024 could be surpassed to the downside. With inflation now at 3.6% per year, we need to see just a 0.5% increase in the June quarter to get down to 3.3% per year. Our current forecast for the June quarter is for a 0.6% rise, but note the current momentum in the partials, particularly rising fuel prices, is pointing to a meaningful upside risk to that forecast. Looking at the more crucial core measures, the trim mean lifted 1% in the quarter for an annual pace of 3.9, which is again on the strong side of expectations. The RBA's trim mean forecast for June 2024 is 3.6. To get this outcome would require a 0.6% gain in the June quarter, something we haven't seen since June 2021, which was in the midst of those COVID lockdowns. It's true, our current forecast is again for a 0.6% increase, but as per the CPI, the partials are again pointing to a meaningful upside risk to this forecast. Inflationary pressures continue to remain focused in services. Good prices lifted 0.5% in the quarter to be up 3.1% through the year, while services prices gained 1.4% to be up 4.3%. But it's promising to note that the critical market services ex-volatile measure gained just 0.7% in the quarter, taking the annual pace down to 4.3 from 4.5. So, the greatest source of disinflationary pressure remains in clothing, with prices there down 1.1% in the quarter. Now it's true, we are seeing falling airfares helping to ease holiday and accommodation pressures, but what we are seeing is audiovisual and computing equipment, we're seeing newspaper, books and stationery, and other recreation and culture continue to increases in prices that's overall offsetting those falling prices. In fact, what is disappointing is just how little disinflationary benefit we are seeing from those audiovisual and computing equipment. Prices gained 1.1% in the quarter and are now 17% higher than Canadian prices relative to March 2018 and 40% higher than US prices. Australia is not getting the same disinflationary pulse that falling electronic prices are seeing in other countries. On terms of where the surprises were, there were smaller than expected fall in utilities prices due to a large jump in electricity prices in the month of March, plus stronger than expected increases in health, automobiles and insurance prices. So overall, as our chief economist, Lucy Ellis, has noted, inflation is moderating, but it has some way to go before the RBA can be confident it will return to the 2 to 3% target range within the desired timetable. As such, we expect the RBA to remain on hold in May and push back the date for the first rate cut to November. Previously, we thought it could happen as early as September.
The content of this recording is informational and of general nature only and is not intended to constitute a research report or reflect any recommendation or financial advice. It has been prepared without taking into account your objectives, financial situation or needs, and investment decisions should not be based on it. You should obtain your own independent advice before proceeding with any investment decision. Whilst every effort has been taken to ensure that the contents are correct and any opinions, forecasts, conclusions are reasonably held based on information at the date of recording, Westpac does not make any representation or warranty as to the accuracy or completeness of the statements or information contained in this recording, and any liability therefore is expressly disclaimed to the extent permitted by law. None of the material included in this recording should be copied, published or reproduced in whole or in part without the prior written permission of Westpac.